Hey guys, Adrian here, and today I'm drinking some gin. So I got another package from my mystery company, and this time they sent me some gin. So I'm gonna drink it. So this time around they sent me Black Button Citrus Forward Gin, New Holland Artisan Spirits Knickerbocker Gin, which is funny because they make that just down the road from me, and Breckenridge Gin. So I have never really been a big gin drinker. It was only recently that I started to actually like drink gin and actually enjoy it. But I found that I really like gin. I think it was probably because when I was younger and would try gin, it was, cheap rail gin, which tastes like pine sol. And so you're like, ooh, gross, gin tastes like pine sol, I'm not gonna try it. And a few years ago, about 5 years ago, a friend of mine introduced me to a gin that it didn't taste anything like pine needles. So I was like, this is intriguing. And so I tried more and more of it. And it was one of those things where it was just like, ooh, I think I might like gin. Now, you guys know me, I'm more of a whiskey guy, but I really like gin also. So let's get into this. So first up, we have Black Button Citrus Forward Gin. Now, what I know about this is that the reason it's called Black Button is because the guy that started this distillery was something like the 4th generation button maker in upstate New York. And so as an homage to his family business that he is no longer a part of, he named his distillery after, what they made, Black Buttons. So kind of a fun little snippet about the distillery. All right, so first off, usually I'll take a look at these and, well, hey, it's gin, it's clear. Yeah, that's proper clear. I don't know if I really need to say anything else about it. That so the first thing I smell is it smells kind of yeasty. This is a problem I have with a lot of like small batch distilleries. There's a few around where I live that have this problem too, where when you get a bottle of whatever alcohol that they make, it's really young, so it still has that really heavy yeast profile to it, and that always puts me off. I really don't like that, and I wish that more distilleries would at least let their alcohol sit long enough to let that mellow away, because no sir, I don't like it. I was gonna say there's almost like an orangey, there's kind of like an orangey aroma coming through, which I'm not surprised since it's called Citrus Forward Gin. But it's really heavy on that young alcohol flavor or aroma. But there's definitely something like a bitter kind of orange peel kind of aroma that's just kind of creeping through. All right, I think that's enough sniffing. Let's try some Black Button. Okay. It's definitely got kind of an orangish, lemony, like a citrusy flavor to it. It's almost like cilantro. I don't know. It kind of tastes like I just got done eating pho, which is interesting. Now, like one of the things that the gins are known for, other than it tastes like you got slapped in the face with a pine tree kind of thing, is the botanicals, like all of the herbs, the 11 herbs and spices that go into it to make it a little bit different. I don't think I've ever had one that had such a heavy, like, it's definitely like a cilantro kind of flavor. There's something else in there that I don't know, it just kind of fills out the flavor. I don't really know how to describe it, but I feel like I've had it recently. It's almost like, yeah, it's almost like tarragon. Like, I don't know if you've ever had tarragon, but it kind of has that kind of like smooth, like make everything meld together kind of flavor to it. Yeah, that's interesting. The funny thing about this is that I don't taste any like juniper or pine at all in this. This is whatever they did to it to mask all of that. They did a good job, because I don't taste any of it. And I'm not saying that I don't like that flavor, but you know, usually you can always tell, you can always taste a little bit of it. I don't really pick up on that at all. So no, you know what? It's not like pho. It's not like I just got done eating pho. It's like I just got done eating like a white curry, like a Thai curry kind of meal. That's what the whole thing just tastes like a Thai curry to me. And that is very interesting to me. I don't think I've ever had a gin that quite tasted like this. Now, I don't know that I would have this around for like an everyday gin for you gin drinkers out there, but this would definitely be like a special occasion, sip it when your friends come over kind of gin. I think that would probably go really well with tonic water. Like if you made a gin and tonic out of this would probably go pretty well. Unfortunately, I do not have any tonic, so therefore I can't try it in that capacity. But it's still good, and I'm pretty sure that just like add that little bit of bitter sweetness from the quinine and tonic water, I think that would mix well with this. And now I'm hungry for Thai food. So one of my favorite gin stories comes from the history of the drink, the Tom Collins, which is gin, sour mix, and soda water. So when it was first invented, it was a prank that people would play on each other back in the late 1800s in New York, like the New York, Philadelphia, that whole area of the country, where you'd run into a friend of yours on the street, and you'd be like, "Hey, have you ever met Tom Collins?" And your friend would be like, "No, I've never heard of him." And you'd be like, "Oh, well, he's down at this bar down at the end of the street, and man, that guy's talking some shit about you. You might want to go down there and set him straight." The second guy would go running down to the bar, and he'd storm in, and he'd be like, "Who's this Tom Collins fella that's talking trash about me?" And everyone would just start laughing, and then the bartender would serve up a drink, and it was the Tom Collins. Man, we used to have some weird senses of humor. The ways we used to pass the time back before the internet. But anyways, this Black Button Citrus Forward Gin, to be honest with you, I was expecting it to be just like my first impression of just based on the name was that it was just going to be like a fruit bomb in my mouth. Like it would be like chewing on a fermented orange, basically. And it turns out that there is a lot more going on in this than just that citrus thing, because the citrus definitely comes through. And that whole young booze thing that I was talking about earlier, it's really just in the smell. And I know that everyone says that 80% of your taste is smell, but when I'm drinking it, I don't really get that. Like, generally when it smells like young booze, it's going to taste like young booze, and in this case it doesn't. Whatever they put in there, it does a great job of masking the fact that this is young booze, if it even is young booze and I'm just not missmelling something. And it does a great job of masking whatever the juniper pine flavor that you usually get from gin that's in there. I would give this a 9 stars out of 10. This is a proper gin. I'm really impressed with this, and I hope this guy keeps making booze, because he's doing a great job so far. All right, next up we've got the New Holland Artisan Spirits Knickerbocker Gin. Now, what's interesting about New Holland is that they are a brewery that started distilling their own booze. And I know this because they're just down the street from me. So, and I believe that the gin was the first one that they made. I'm not positive about that. Don't quote me on it. But I'm pretty sure that that is true. And we'll go with that. So, first off, hey look guys, it's clear. Okay, that smells like cinnamon. Like, damn near like Fireball whiskey levels of cinnamon. Woo! That'll clear your sinuses. Yeah, it's cinnamon. And then it smells like permanent marker, but that's most boozes, I guess. I don't know, but definitely cinnamon. Like, I feel like somebody punked me and they just gave me like cinnamon whiskey, clear cinnamon whiskey. I'm not really getting anything else out of it, so I'm just gonna move on to drinking it. New Holland Knickerbocker. Ooh. Okay. I was gonna say there's no real cinnamon flavor to it, but there's a little bit of a cinnamon bite right at the end, right in the aftertaste. Again, I'm getting some citrus on this one, but man, any flavor that this thing has just gets overwhelmed almost immediately by that cinnamon flavor to it. It's tenacious, is what it is. Like, you just get like a brief, like 1 or 2 seconds of other things coming through, and it's just like right as you start to identify all the different little pieces in there, all of a sudden it's just like bam, cinnamon. And it's not sickly sweet cinnamon like you would think. It's not like Fireball whiskey, or I don't know, what are some other garbage cinnamon flavored liquors? Doesn't matter. It's actual like chewing on cinnamon sticks kind of cinnamon. But it's so prevalent, and it just hits you in the face like a ton of bricks. I mean, I'll do what I can to see if I can figure out any of these other flavors, but it's gonna be, well, it kind of tastes, oh my god, it's cinnamon. Yeah, it's citrusy. There's definitely some citrus and something botanical, but I couldn't tell you because the flavor lasts about a heartbeat before that cinnamon kicks. And to be honest with you, like I'm a little frustrated with the cinnamon right now because I'm trying to figure out what those other flavors are. But this is a really pleasant cinnamon flavor. Like I wish that when people made cinnamon liqueurs or cinnamon whiskey or cinnamon candy, that this is what it tasted like. Instead, it tastes like that fake ass Fireball, the candy flavor, where it's just sickly sweet and all of a sudden you just get hit with spice. And it's like, well, it kind of tastes like cinnamon. It tastes about as cinnamon as banana runts are to actual bananas. Your brain is somehow like, well, I can loosely associate this with bananas, but it doesn't really taste like bananas. I feel the same way about any cinnamon alcohol or candy, really. Most of the candies too were just, and this is like actual like cinnamon. This is like crunching on a cinnamon stick. And I don't hate it. It's just frustrating because I'm trying to pick up on what other flavors are in there, and I'm not getting them. Yeah. All right. My final thoughts on this one. It's an interesting flavor. But if you don't like cinnamon, this is not going to be the gin for you. Oh man, is this not going to be the gin for you? I haven't even had the full amount yet. I still got a little bit left, and I'm already kind of done with this. It's like when if you're drinking a beer, like you go out and you try some beers, and you get one and you're like, ooh, this is going to be really good, and you try it and you're like, yeah, that was really good, but then you take like another sip and you're like, that was less good, and by the time you get halfway through the beer, you're like, I don't want this anymore, you know? So I mean, it's good, but like this is like something that you'd have once and that's it. My mouth is like super dry now because of this. Like even my taste buds are like, what? No, get away from us. So I'm gonna have to say that this gets a 6 out of 10 for me. It's good. I can't complain about it, but like the cinnamon is just so overwhelming. That flavor just shines through, and not in a good way. I don't think. I feel like you want, like especially with like a gin, when you're adding a bunch of different ingredients together, you want all of those things to kind of mix and mingle and kind of, you know, ooh, well now I taste this or now I taste that, and all I'm getting is, you know, a little bit of citrus up front, and then immediately it goes to cinnamon, and it's just so much cinnamon. How many times can I say cinnamon in this video? So yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's not great. All right, and finally we have Breckenridge Gin. What kind of gin is it? It's gin. And Breckenridge is probably, I believe that's in Colorado. And I think I read somewhere that they claim to be the highest distillery in the country, which would make sense if it was in Colorado. Anyways, hey Adrian, what's it look like? It looks clear. It's gin. All right. Woo! Yeah, that's got that that juniper kick to it. Whew, I hope this isn't a slap you in the face with a pine tree kind of gin. Oh, that's got that permanent marker smell to it. Yeah, I feel like I'm sniffing markers over here. Just like... I'm not getting anything else off of this. This is just straight liquor, sir. Well, I'm surprised because based off of the smell, I was expecting this to be super harsh. This, out of the three of these, this is the smoothest. I don't know, it's sweet. I don't know that there's any real distinct flavor to it. There's a little bit of a spiciness on the back end of it, but I don't think it's cinnamon. There is something vegetal to it, but I'm not sure what. There's kind of like a dense flavor to it, like almost like a fatty flavor, but I don't know what that is. I'm worried that the Knickerbocker knocked all of my senses out of whack with all its fucking cinnamon. But I would say that this is probably the sweetest of the three. This is the most neutral of the three. Yeah, there's a spice to this one. I just don't think that it's cinnamon, because cinnamon has a very distinct flavor on top of being spicy, and this is not that. And I don't know where I'm getting that from. Okay, I'm definitely starting to pick up on like a juniper flavor to it. So it's almost like a sickly sweet juniper. It's like if you ate like juniper candy or something that was also spicy for some reason, but not cinnamon. It's not very good. It's that permanent marker aroma that I smell definitely comes through in the flavor. I mean, it's smooth. It's definitely the smoothest, but it's not very good, in my opinion. This one gets 3 stars for me. It's just a roadmap of pain, really. I mean, you start off, you smell it. It smells like permanent markers. You take a drink of it. It doesn't taste like anything except for being sweet. And then all of the aftertaste is just a spiciness without a flavor to it. It's a very basic flavor. There's no complexity to this, at least as far as I can tell. I think that I would not order this in a bar. I don't think I would mix it with anything. But it's not, I mean, I'll finish it. If I had ordered this in a bar, not knowing what it was, which would be the case, I would continue to drink it, but I would probably complain the whole time, but I would finish it. Anyways, that's the Breckenridge Gin. 3 stars. Oh God, 3 stars. Oh God, 3 stars. That's this round of booze. I hope you enjoyed watching me suffer through some of these. If you like this video, hit the like button down below, and if you like what I do with this channel, hit subscribe. If I'm wrong about any of these gins, you really like one of these gins, let me know in the comments. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. Anyways, bye.